Lunch in the morning, lunch at night, lunch whenever you feel that it's right. There's no bad time for lunch.
Also, time isn't real.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Youngblood Monday Lunch, the new play podcast of Youngblood, the company of young playwrights at the Ensemble Studio Theater. My name is RJ, and over there across the room is Graham. That's almost more terrible than all the other versions of that. We run Youngblood here at ESD together in Hell's Kitchen, New York City. And we are so happy to be bringing you a new play here in podcast form to delight your Monday afternoon, or really any time that you're listening to this. That's the beauty of a podcast, isn't it? We can call it a lunch, put it out at noon. You can listen to it at 3 in the morning if you want to, whenever a new play fits in with your life. To talk to you a little bit more about how a new play can fit in with your life, here's Graham to talk about today's new play.
Lunch.
The theme for today's play is togetherness. Here at the Ensemble Studio Theater, just the other day, the playwrights of Youngblood gathered together for the first time in 67 weeks. And we did what everybody does. We smiled awkwardly at each other for about 45 minutes. Then someone remembered. It was one of the writers' birthdays, and they weren't there yet. All of a sudden, we had a project. We went out into Hell's Kitchen. We got some cake. We got some flowers at a grocery store. One of the writers fashioned a balloon hat. We plugged in a piano. We dug out a disco ball. We hid in the set for the play that's been standing on stage at EST for now 96 weeks. And as we waited for the birthday writer to arrive, there, hiding in the set, giggling to each other, our eyes shining, we were a writers group reborn. Youngblood again, together at last. And you may say, well, thanks, Graham, but I wasn't there. What does this have to do with me? Where is my togetherness? Well, if you really think about it, consider this podcast. Did you know that this podcast has listeners in Belgium, in Portugal, in Canada? It's true. We've looked it up. They give us a report on where the podcast is listened to. Hello, Canada. Hello, Belgium. Hello, Portugal. We're all having lunch together. That's our togetherness. We're here. We're having lunch. We're having submarine sandwiches and pizzas in Belgium and Portugal and Canada and New York City. Thanks for having lunch with us, everybody. It's great to be together. Today's play is written by two Youngblood playwrights together. It's called Landing, and it's written by Youngblood's own Dylan Guerra and Julia Specht.
Before we get to the play, we want to share some acknowledgments that we've been using at the start of every time we get together to do work, either just getting a cast together to rehearse or sharing something with the public, as an important way of focusing our commitment and our thoughts on some principles that are extremely important to EST and to our work going forward. The Ensemble Studio Theater wants to recognize the labor that has been exploited historically and continues to be exploited on our colonized land, that's been forced from enslaved Black and African diasporic peoples, and acknowledge the continual forced displacement, the systemic oppression of Black, Indigenous, and people of color in the colonial United States. Here at EST, we're actively working to restructure the way that we work, the way we create art, the way we communicate and relate to each other as artists, and to you as our extended community and our audience.
We also want to acknowledge that the Ensemble Studio Theater, along with the rest of New York City, is located on Lenape-Hoking. That's the unceded traditional territory of the Lenni Lenape people. We want to pay respect to the Lenape and to all indigenous peoples that continue to live, work, create, and contribute here on Lenape-Hoking and throughout the rest of this country. If you'd like to learn more about the Lenape, you can go to lenapecenter.com. And we also encourage you to check out native-land.ca. That's a website where you can look up the place where you live or the place where you grew up and learn about the history and peoples of those lands.
Now we couldn't be happier to share with you a brand new play by Dylan Guerra and Julia Specht. This is Landing.
Gispa, wie leben? Gispa! Oh, dissect me, sect, he's back! Live, flip, gen! Dispatch! 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 From landing! Dispatch! Crash! Dispatch! I landed unexpectedly. I landed here. It's hot and green. There are. I'm still figuring out how to make sounds with this mouth. Just a second. Landing. Dispatch. Dispatch. Let me try again. Okay, first of all, let me just say, I crashed, but I'm not injured. I landed on an outskirt planet, one of those ones we've been studying, but not the ones we were aiming for. I'm recording in this language because I've tried to speak in our native language, but it doesn't seem to work. I can't remember any of our words. My mind can't. Our theory was correct. Time moves forward in a line here, and it's just like we thought it would be. And the time is too thin to support our language like we suspected. I think our theory is right. I think we're exactly right. But that means I can't. When I try to remember words from home, I can't fit them on my tongue. And so I've chosen this language from the language map we made. It's endemic to the area. The teaching module happened to be in my crash kit, so I learned it. It's a very thin language. It doesn't give me much to work with. I made myself look like a local organism, the ones that seem to be in charge of this planet. So I'm made of meat now with just a tongue and vocal cords. There are so many words I can't find. I hope I still sound like myself. You'll just have to trust that it's me. No, I can't remember how to say coordinates. I don't remember how to tell you where I am. I'm gonna describe what's nearby. There's one moon in this atmosphere. It looks clear and silver. There are trees growing tight together, and smaller plants grow on them. Some animals, I can't see them, are scurrying in the underbrush, and they are yelling loudly at each other, or maybe at me, Close to me, there is a huge, wide expanse of green grass, all the same length, perfectly uniform, and it stretches off toward... No, how do I say where I am? Okay, the grass stretches outward, or not. The grass isn't stretching, the ground is. The ground isn't stretching either. Nothing is stretching. Why do I keep using that word? There's just a lot of grass. There's a lot of grass and a big open space, and close by there's a pond and another pond. The module says that stretching can mean to distend, but the grass isn't distended. There's just a lot of it. This is a stupid language. I'm walking now. I'm walking and keeping these stupid legs moving and keeping these stupid legs moving. The stupid skin is wet and the air is so hot I can barely breathe. Does this body need sleep? Do I need to find a place to sleep? I think it does. This planet is already exhausting. When you hear this, I hope you can tell that I'm me.
Sir, if you're not a patron, I need to ask you to leave.
Why?
Sir, this is an Arby's. I can't let you sit here if you're not going to buy anything.
Is Arby's not for everyone?
Look, man, I don't want to call the cops. I really don't. Can you just get a sandwich?
I don't want a sandwich.
Okay, all right. Listen, it's not personal. I just can't let homeless people sit in here. I'll get in trouble. I'll lose my job. Like, I'm sorry. Can you please just leave? Please?
You're hovering. You're just standing near the bar, but you're not doing anything. It's creepy. Do you want to sit down?
Oh, yes, sure.
I hate 90s nights, you know, they're so corny, no offense.
None taken. I don't care about any of this.
Me too. Like, did you stop growing as a person in 2005? Like, can you only enjoy things from your childhood? It's the same as when adults only watch Disney movies, you know?
I don't know what Disney movies is. I'm sorry.
You're funny. I like you. Hey, you want a shot? Like, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, neither did I. It was just one of those things, you know? And I still love him, but we were just bad at living together. I think it's gonna take me forever to move on, though. It's like, oh my god, you know, co-star. I don't believe in astrology, but I do sort of believe in astrology. Anyway, co-star yesterday was like, now is the time to dissolve your obsessions, which is like, it's a phone app. It's stupid, but it's right. I can't be obsessed with him, so I'm trying.
That sounds very hard.
Oh, it is. It really is. I still expect to walk into the kitchen and see him making coffee. And I can't make coffee like he does. And now there's just this empty room in my apartment. And it's just filling it just seems like so much work, you know? Hold on. Hello. Yeah. Can I get a vodka soda? Sure thing. Sorry, I've been rambling about myself. I just cornered you, and I'm going on and on and on.
I don't mind. I like listening.
You want to go someplace else?
Okay.
Yeah, I know a bar that's open till 4 and they serve free pizza, so that's cool.
Okay. I don't have any place else to go.
What do you mean?
I don't have any place else to go.
Do you mean you're homeless?
I suppose, yes.
Really? Where are you gonna sleep?
I'm not sure.
That sucks. Hey, no pressure, but do you want to stay at my place? I'm not coming on to you, I swear. I just don't want you to have to sleep outside. And, you know, given that my partner just moved out, I need a roommate, and you seem as nice as anyone I'd find on the internet. So, is that weird? It might be weird. I'm feeling impulsive. I'm sorry. You don't have to say yes. I won't take it personally.
I would like that, I think.
Good. Then it's a deal.
Dispatch. The sun here set and rose again, so I believe I have been here for a day. I'm still figuring out the way time moves. It feels so counterintuitive to think in a straight line. I'm not sure if the last missive I sent reached you at all. The body dreams when it sleeps. Dreams are strange hallucinations caused by misplaced electricity. I had my first dream last night, and I dreamt that I could feel all of us again. There were no pictures or color, only the sound of blood rushing. I dreamt of being part of something bigger. This body has only one heart and one mind. I press its hands together and I interlace the fingers. I wrap its arms around itself. The only heartbeat I feel is my own, and I have no idea if someone else's is beating in time with mine. This morning, I pressed my solitary ear against a wall, and I could hear the echo of the thump of my blood. I imagined it's our heartbeat, the heartbeat of hundreds of us, that I once again am tied to every other heart. I am trying to be brave, but I miss you all.
About how you perform when everything goes right. Big wave surfing, it's a different ball game.
Dispatch. I'm sorry I haven't phoned in a while. That is what they call it here, phoning. I'm phoning you, phone a friend, etc. It has been hard to have a moment alone. Skylar is home almost all the time, which is nice. It is nice to have company. I've begun to crave being alone now, which is surprising. I wonder if it's just part of this body. After crash landing, deep space, the empty and all that, and being apart from you, I wonder if I've started to change. Our house is part of a series of interconnected homes called a townhome. Light can get in from 2 sides as opposed to 4. I have my own room. Skylar says it's got chill vibes. I would agree. There is the imprint of the man who lived here before me. There are scuff marks on the floor, and it is nice to know that I am not making a mark, but absorbing another, as I am not going to be here for much longer. I hope, but I do find myself sitting more than I am used to. And Skylar has mentioned that they would desire payment at some point in the near future, because this is a pay-to-live culture. The understanding here is that your worth is your work. They are interchangeable words for each other. I've decided to take the symbolic route for my worth. The people here, as I have declared before, are linear, which is odd. It feels sometimes as if I'm being squeezed into a compartment I was never even aware of. Listen to this word. Shape. It means a makeup of definite lines. A line is a straight theory, so imagine the way my imagination is shook by the idea that I could be a shape. But I digress. As people are linear, it means they shall reach an end after exerting much energy, and each person is different, each separately on their own linear projection to their end. An ending is best defined as the furthest point from a beginning. Culture is weird. That's a sound we make here. Anyway, I have decided that people are sort of like candles. Candles here burn at a steady rate, are sometimes blown out and forgotten about for long periods of time, and then are lit again and slowly burn away, all while releasing various scents and supplying ambiance. And so I have decided to worth at Bath & Body Works. Try a candle. This one is lavender. It makes me feel like home. Try this other candle. This one is wood. It does not make me feel like home, but it does make me think of outside and how you can bring the outside inside, how the inside can be outside. If only there was a candle that was fresh breath. I should sell that. Probably make millions, right?
Sure. Do you have a scent diffuser?
Oh, yes.
Bye, Chrissy. Bye, Tobin.
Bye, Cindy.
Oh, thanks. Bye. Bye, Scott.
Scott.
Bye, Shelly.
How's your day?
Good.
Nice.
The trees here are different. They have streets like we do, but they are marked with a yellow line. Boba Fett. They have cheese like we do. Carrie Mulligan is revolutionary. I am starting to enjoy the various smells at Bath & Body Works. I have established rhythm. Skylar showed me this movie that they refer to as iconic that came out on the television a few nights ago. It was about this man who has to travel from place to place and tell them that they are no longer welcome there. He spends most of his time in an airplane, which I have seen above me here. They're essentially ships like ours, but less powerful, closer to the ground for travel on this planet. This planet is very large, much larger than ours. Anyway, this man, he has a drinking problem and he feels very lonely because he lives most of his time in an airplane, and also because his job is sad, but mainly because he's lonely, and he spends most of his time making other people lonely because he makes them leave their jobs. The movie made me feel some type of way about being back in my little ship whenever it is repaired or when you send me another, and how long that journey may take, and if I will be like that man who spends most of his time in a less powerful ship. The acting I hear is amazing. They felt real to me, and Skylar cried. Skylar is always crying, but just in front of me. And I wanted to cry, but I felt something else.
Hey, can I talk to you a second?
I can give you several seconds.
Okay, come with me to the back room. Okay, so listen, we totally love you here. Like, for real, like, you add so much to the team. Not even a lie. People are always like, he's so quirky. And honestly, like, we love you. But, and of course there's a but, I'm your manager. I'm supposed to be like, giving notes and things like that. Ick. I hate this word, but performance review. Okay, so like customers, like we, like Cindy and Chrissy and Tobin and Scott, like we all love you.
Shelly?
Oh my God, yes, Shelly loves you. We all do. But we have a few customers feel like maybe they're just a little, okay, what is the word I'm looking for? Like sometimes your phrasing is off and it makes our customers feel a particular way, like kept at a distance. Does that make sense? We are Bath and Body Works, and so we are warm.
So you need me to...
Oh, I don't need.
You would like me to make the customers feel warm.
Yes.
Okay. I can try. All of the candles at Bath and Body Works now smell like pumpkin. Skylar suggested I buy a coat. There are skeletons everywhere and it's meant to be scary. This is confusing because we all have skeletons. Snickers. There is this thing called sweet potato casserole. Holy shit. All of the candles at Bath & Body Works now smell like spruce or gingerbread or hot cocoa ski lodge. At work, they play a song now over and over again, multiple times per day about a reindeer who no one likes. At night, I hear it in my head over and over again. Little reindeer games, little reindeer games, little reindeer games, little reindeer games. This time of year, they put lights on top of other lights, which makes the world glow. The brightness feels exciting. This period feels endless and full of hugs. It is like being squeezed. The lights are gone. These days, all of my dreams are about work. The thing has seen its shadow, and so this period is extending. This reminds me of Deep Festival, but less intense. Trees are back. I repeat, trees are back.
Hi, can we talk for a sec?
Oh, sure.
Wait, they fired you because you're not friendly enough?
They said they like me, but customers don't.
Yeah, but they said you're off-putting? That's fucked up. You could sue, I bet.
We're meant to be kind and approachable.
It's discrimination. It's discrimination. Honestly, how dare they?
I'm not upset by it. I was given a task and I failed. This is a reasonable outcome. Making people uncomfortable is bad for business.
Yeah, well, for what it's worth, you make me feel comfortable, and I've known you for what, like a year now? You've always made me feel comfortable, and other people feel that way too.
Really?
Yeah. I'm glad I know you. Hey, let's go out. We can drown our sorrows.
Note. No, wait, dispatch. I'm drunk. So drunk. Wow. This is a relief. I didn't drink before all this year. Never. Alcohol is a toxin, but wow. I get it now. I really get it. I miss you all so much. My head feels fuzzy. 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 Fuzzy is a small word. My head feels like a small star rising. My head is a thick black wave. I want to talk to everyone. I want to talk to the entire world. This is the most comfortable bed to ever exist. I miss you all so much. We went to McDonald's. I ate fries. They are salty and perfect. Do you think I'll ever come back? Have you heard any of these messages? Why haven't you responded? Skylar got me a root beer to go with my fries. He was amazed that I'd never tried one. It was so sweet and fizzy. I wanted to buy 15 root beers. I want to take them home in a huge bag and put them in a large bucket and put my feet in them. Doesn't that sound nice? Fizzy foot bucket. Note, dispatch. Note to dispatch. When I get back, we should put our feet in root beer. Note, when you finally answer me, I'll bring home some, and it'll be the greatest scientific discovery. Oh. Are you looking for me? I don't know if you are. Should I keep waiting for you? Or is this my whole life now? Uh-oh. You okay, dude? Dispatch. Last night. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Sorry. Last night, we went dancing. I think I said something to you all. I can't fully remember. If I said anything embarrassing, I'm sorry. I drank a lot. It was my first time drinking alcohol. I think I overdid it. My head hurts so much. Oh my God. Last night, we went dancing, not for the first time. Skylar has taken me dancing before. If I already said all this when I called before, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it again for my own sake. Last night, we went dancing, and in the past, I failed to enjoy it because the music, the forward moving bump of it was confusing, and also because I didn't drink alcohol before. The alcohol makes it better. Anyway, last night we went dancing, and I had an epiphany. Last night we went dancing. If you listen to me say that, you hear that I am saying the words last night, denoting the past, denoting a time before the present moment that is no longer accessible. This is an element of this language that is required to navigate linear time, a linguistic adaptation. Were I at the lab with all of you, we would observe it and label it accordingly. Last night is a crude temporal latch hook, a tool to tie a moment in place for beings unable to think of time in more complex ways. It would be an interesting observation. But when I say last night, like I did a moment ago, like I do now, I am not just observing the tether to a point in time. No, I am feeling it. I am latched to a moment that is gone. I am dependent on these words, last night, to position myself. I don't know if this makes sense. What I've realized is I'm not able to come home. Even if you're receiving these dispatches, even if you can understand them. Even if you somehow miraculously gathered enough information to send a rescue, my mind is spoiled. After thinking in a straight line for this long and living in a body that's aging and moving from moment to moment, I suspect that the enormity of home would explode me. Like a deep sea fish brought up to the surface, I'd blow up. I miss you all so much, and I miss our world. And now I'm too small to come back. that was a lot of words, and none of them meant anything. I'm making a lot of excuses to avoid saying the truth, which is that I know these messages aren't reaching anyone. Oh my God, my head hurts so much. I'm being grandiose. Skylar tells me sometimes that I talk like a old British lady. Grandiose is an old British lady word. I should try to use different words to be less off-putting. Last night, when Skylar and I went dancing, the music didn't feel straightforward. Instead of a forward-moving bump, 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 I heard twisting patterns and swirls and repetition that built to something bigger. People were moving with it, tiny pieces in a large organism, and I was part of it too, an incredible middle and a moment with a beginning and an end. I will never stop missing home, but there are times when I think I might be okay here. I'm rambling at you. If you ever hear this, I want you all to know that I love you. I hope you can understand that. I don't want the transmission to end because I know this is the last one. I'm gonna count to 10 and then I will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You've been listening to a new play, Landing, by Dylan Guerra and Julia Specht. Directed by Dylan Guerra, featuring AJ Klaus as Alien and Yaron Lotan as Skylar. Sound design was by Caroline Eng.
The staff of the Ensemble Studio Theater are Artistic Director William Carden, Executive Director Susan Vitucci, Associate Artistic Director, Co-Artistic Director of Youngblood, and Program Director of the EST Sloan, Graham Gillis, right over there. Director of Play Development, Associate Director of EST Sloan, Lindsay Furman. Co-Director of Youngblood, RJ Tolan. Oh my, that's me. Production Manager, Jack Plow. Brand Marketing Manager, Harrison Densmore. Communications and Audience Services Manager, Samantha Sembler. Finance Director, Jonathan Suarez. Literary Associate, Nika May Anderson. Company Administrator, Mariel Sanchez. Development Associate, Joey Nasta. And Facilities Manager, Jose Sanchez. The Youngblood Monday Lunch theme song was written by Youngblood's own Jake Brash and Nadia Leonhard Hooper. Incidental music by Jake Brash. The podcast sound engineer was Caroline Eng. Now, if you've made it all the way to the end of the credits, to the extra stuff that we say at the end, I feel like we're close enough that I can tell you that you have an opportunity to support our work in creating podcast theater. And you can do that by going to estnyc.org/lunchmoney. That's estnyc.org/lunchmoney. And on that website, you will find links to a donation that will be targeted to the future life and production of more Youngblood Monday Lunch episodes. And I cannot possibly express how grateful we would be for that support. Thank you so much for joining us for this brand new play podcast. We look forward to talking to you again soon. Be well, everybody.